Well, hello there. I know. You're welcome. Charlie Greer podcast. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to support this shit show. Description, there's a Zelle info. And let's do this. Charles Manson. Charlie Manson. One of my favorite topics. So I have some kind of weird I'm just gonna tell it. All right. So when I first moved to LA, this is like 98, a friend of mine got an apartment on Franklin, like behind Man Chinese. Like it's Hollywood Boulevard and Franklin, but behind all that crazy shit. Um, he got an apartment. Woo! And that apartment was across from the parking lot of the Magic Castle, which is like on the same side of the street, but you know. Well, guess what? He got fucking Charles Manson's old apartment. So it turned out to be like a nightmare. Like I would the first time I went over there was like tink tink like rocks at the window. Because this address is in like every fucking Manson book that exists. Hey, Franklin, you got there's a goddamn map of the place. He eventually had to move. And this was Manson's place in the 50s. He ran some kind of agency or call girl something, or I don't know. He was a go-getter. But yeah, some in little ways I can relate to Charles Manson because he's a hillbilly from Kentucky. I'm a hillbilly from Tennessee. We know those ancient ways. Grew up running, the cricks and the this and the. And what they say about Manson, I'm sure. Look, he ain't a nice guy, or was he? And if you there's a guy named Nicholas Schreck. He wrote the Manson File. I suggest if you want to learn more about Charles Manson, get Nicholas's book. He's spot on about, And thank you, Nicholas. I love your book. And he made a movie, Charles Manson Superstar, I think it's called. Forgive me if I'm. So go check that out too. But yeah, Nicholas Schreck. He's the. If you want to know anything about Charlie Manson, he's the one. And he's got some cool music too, Radio Werewolf, and anyway. So yeah, my friend got the apartment, and then, can you imagine? Like day and night, like people are, because Manson had some devotees and the wrong people to have. You don't want to mess with, some of these. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And I know how bad this looks, but it's a rainy day. I mean, it looks like it's night. It's like 10:30 in the morning. It's May. Technically it's summer, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, and now it's winter where I'm at again, I guess. It's raining and cold. And so I thought, you know what? Manson, Charles Manson, let's do it. So yeah, Charlie Manson. And all you've heard about what went on those 2 nights is the biggest bunch of bullshit. Vincent Buzziosi, whatever the fuck his name was, that they didn't even give Charles Manson a defense. Like that's the thing. Hey, I'm not defending. He could have. There's no telling what do we don't know about the guy. But we have a constitution, man. There's rights. I don't give a damn who you are. He didn't get a defense. That trial was a sham. And the prosecutor's writing a book at the same time, and that's never happened. Literally, the prosecution, stopped, and the defense is supposed to start. They just said, "No, he didn't get a defense." Like they just threw him, and technically, it was the Tex Watson murders. Tex Watson is the one that cut all those people up, not Charlie Manson. And hell, Tex Watson, they let him. He's fathered babies, and he in prison, and he's like a minister and whatever. Charles Manson, they wouldn't even let him have his guitar, and he's the boogeyman and all this shit. Come on, man. I mean, I know we all need a boogeyman, but that Manson shit, like around that, hundreds of millions of dollars, like that, it was a cottage industry. It still is. But my little connection to all this bullshit was in 2003, I started managing this smoke shop in the valley called the Lion's Lair in Canoga Park. This legendary old, and at the time, I think it was like the oldest operating like head shop, smoke shop. And the owner used to go to the Spawn Ranch, which was in Canoga Park. It's not that far away. I mean, it's burnt down now, but I think it's Santa Anita Pass when you're going to Simi Valley. Anyway, they used to go up there and like party back in the day, like in this late 60s or whatever. And so I'm managing the store, and I'm the buyer. I buy all the stuff, the pipes, the bongs, the this and that and the other thing. And so the owner calls me when I first start doing this, and he's like, when it was at night, he goes, "Hey, I got the family coming in. I've been dealing with these people for a long time. They're good people. Pardon me. We buy all our bamboo pipes and hemp rope stuff and this, that, and the other, all organic." Blah. I'm like, "Family?" He's like, "Yeah, like the rest of the Manson, they're still around." I'm like, "What? Manson?" To me, the Manson fan, that's just so far out. Like there's some of them people are still around. Like, if they're like, "Oh yeah, they're good people," they're coming in. I was like, "Oh fuck, man." So I'm thinking, shit, man, Mansons. And they come in. I think they're going to come in the front door like every other vendor. No, they bust right through the back, like hey, and they're these kind of old hippies, but some of them aren't that old. And I'll get into that. How they weren't that. It's okay. My dog's freaking out here. It's raining. So they come in with their like suitcase full of stuff, and they kind of sit down in the middle of the shop and open. I'm like, "Hey, man, no, because there's custom." They're throwing stuff out, got the blanket out, and I go, "No. I took them in the office. I took them in the office. I was like, yeah, you can throw it out, and I'll pick what I want." And they weren't creepy at all. They were just old hippies. Again, there was probably maybe 4 or 5 of them that came in, and that would come in. And there was like 3 of them that were older, and 2 of them that weren't that much older than me. I mean, I was like 30, 31, maybe 32. And some of them were like in their late 40s, like they'd only been like teenagers then. And that kind of freaked me out. The 2 guys I was talking to, like, they're like, "How old are you guys?" Like, "You guys were teenagers?" Like, they weren't that, it really kind of, it's hard to explain. It kind of, set it home. I don't know. It struck me like, damn, like it made it more real to me, like meeting these people and then seeing their age. I thought they were all dead for some reason. Matter of fact, I thought Manson was from California. I didn't know he was from Kentucky, but so I got to know these, well, not know, but like once, like every month they would come in, and they cut their own bamboo for the pipes, and they made their own hemp rope and dyed it, and they were all, yeah, we dye it with I mean, they were hippies. And they didn't deal with any kind of glass, pyrite, none of that. They did their bamboo and, uh, and we bought it. And there is a market for Manson family made pies. Believe me, we were selling that stuff. So what I heard from them, now granted, they never, what I'm about to tell you, they never sat me down to like, okay, Charlie, this is it. No, it was me. Like I would be in the office with them while they're doing their thing. Cause they'd come for a couple hours and they'd spread their stuff out and I'd pick the stuff, whatever. And then I'd have to like go outside to the store and work, come back, getting called. Hey, Charlie, we need. So a lot of I heard this secondhand from them and they probably heard it. So this is like third or fourth hand. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if this is true, but this is what I heard. So once they got to know me and they would just talk, they would, it's almost like I wasn't even there. You know what I'm talking about? Like at first they kind of, but then they, fourth or fifth time, whatever, they just don't care. I'm here, I'm there. So I'll just tell you exactly what they said. They were saying that it wasn't what people thought. And they said it had to do, I didn't say it had to do. How did they even say it? Like I guess there was a guy that was shot in the car. Like there was somebody shot in the driveway. Along with the Sharon Tate and whoever was. And then there was a dude in like the pool house that didn't hear it. It was there the next day, didn't know. Like he was just hanging out. He didn't hear anything. He's the last man standing, but he didn't know shit. Oh, there's all these dead bodies. I don't know. Yeah, right. So they were, what I overheard them say was it had to do something with that guy in the car, the dude in the pool house, and the owner of the property. And well, whoever he is. And how that turned into I don't know. But they would say stuff at the key to it is this guy in the car, and whatever the fuck this guy's name was. And at the time I didn't know like a much. So I tried to read some of those Manson books are like that, but so I would I looked into it, went to the library, and sure enough, they were right. There was a dude that was in the driveway of the car, like shot. There was a dude in the pool house who, I guess didn't see or hear anything and slept through the night like a baby, and while people were being slaughtered, right outside his window in the yard there, And then this owner, I guess the owner guy is, So yeah, that's what I heard from these fellow, Manson follower, whatever, was it was something to do, like a crime within a crime, something. I don't know, but that's what I heard them talking about. Like they were, thinking that they could, get Charlie a new trial and get him, Again, this is 2003, 2004. And I kind of would ask certain things, but they would just shut the fuck, no. Like I'd be like, what are you guys talking about? And they just, and I wish I remembered exactly what but it had to do with two crimes they were talking about. The dude, the pool house guy, and the owner, and then I don't know. I know that it is a thing to do other crimes, to cover up other crimes. I mean, people that do that kind of stuff, it gets kind of sophisticated, and you can It's not out of the realm of thought to go around and commit all these murders and make it look like some kind of spree when you just want this one or two dudes whacked and make it look all great. Again, I don't know. Uh, maybe Nicholas Shrek. Maybe he knows more, and I'm sure he does. I'm sure there's a lot of people that know what really took place. Because supposedly, what really took place was like a drug deal gone bad, uh, or a drug robbery or something. Now, how those two can get, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. And again, I heard this secondhand from them, which was like third or fourth hand. So this is like fifth hand. This and again, I don't know if it's true. I mean, I just know, living in LA, you hear some crazy ass shit. I'd never heard this angle. Again, I'm not really into. I'm like a Manson. You know, I mean, I've heard of Manson, and when I first moved to LA, I was walking down Melrose, and within this store, so there was like a little store within a store. They had like the Manson like T-shirts and this, that, and the other thing, and his music, and I forgot. I talked to that dude back in the day, and I got some. I bought some of Charlie's music, and I was kind of shocked that he wasn't too bad, and he did write he wrote a song for the Beach Boys, and I've heard he recorded two albums, one for I think Reprise, and the other was with Brian Wilson or something. I mean he was supposed to be. I mean, it ain't what you think. So I'm not like the uh the Manson info dude. Again, if you want more information, watch Nicholas Schreck's interviews, the Manson file book, Charles Manson Superstar. But it's strange how when I moved to LA, you never think, that was the last thing on my mind, Charles Manson. Like that. And my little circle of friends, and then my one friend getting his old apartment. And that again, the first day I went there, there's rocks thrown at the window or the patio glass door or whatever, and they're wanting to come up like, hey, and they were from somewhere. They were from like out of Norway or Sweden, and they had a book. Oh yeah, we want to. Like, dude, he hadn't lived here in what, like 40 years. And my friend, he's like, maybe that's why I got it so cheap. Because I was like, how did you get this so cheap? Yeah, well, you got to put it with Manson's crazy followers and fans, and who you probably don't want to deal with. I'm just saying, maybe you do, but it's just a small world. Who would have thought? Like and again, working at the Lines layer, um, so the owner knew these people. He'd known them forever. He'd been out at the spawn when they were there, and one of his friends, he was this older guy. He would come in and do like one shift a week. Like the owner would let his friend come in and work at night, just give him some extra cash. And he would talk about, he was like, oh, anytime I was bored or I want to get laid or get stoned, I would just drive up there. And it was cool. He said it was fun. Can you imagine? Let's say I'm bored. What are we going to do? Let's go out to the Spawn Ranch. And this is before all this shit took off, And I'd heard rumors about like certain things, like, he used to host like an illegal elite, elite poker game at Elvis's house. Like, huh? Manson? Pardon me. I don't know. A rumor. Maybe it could be true. Can you imagine Manson hanging out with Elvis? Now that's a good time. So yeah, these family members were adamant about something else. Like it was a cover up for some other shit that was going on, or vice versa, or I don't know. But it had to do. I remember the older woman. She was like, they need to focus on that dude in the car. When they solve that, then everything else will make sense. Because there was 2 nights. They went that one night and did Sharon Tate and all those, and then the next night they went to that other La Bianca, I think they're called. Who I've heard they were not who they say they were. They were, they had a side hustle, let's just say. So you just never know. That underworld, it gets complicated, and they're good at what they do. I mean, you don't want to, yeah, you think you know. So let's just speculate. Like, so what if, something happened with the guy in the car who was supposed to be visiting the dude in the pool house? Something happened there, and then that happened, and then it just kicked off, or vice versa. That guy saw something. I don't know. But they were, when I hear them talk again, they didn't sit me down and go, okay, Charlie, here it goes. I'm walking by, or I'm just sitting there, or I'm on the computer doing something, and they're on the floor, and I'm just hearing this, and I'm getting pulled. I'm hitting bits and pieces, and most it would be like this bit, and then I'm later on at night, I'm laying there like, what the fuck were they talking about? And then when I did my own, I was like, maybe they are on to something. Maybe they and you think, well, why wouldn't Charles Manson say something? Because that world he's in, man, he can't snitch. Huh? No, he'd be you gotta keep your mouth shut. He ain't about to, and I don't think he ever did. I mean, you're not gonna, yeah. So who knows? I kind of feel sorry for Charlie Manson. I know that sounds crazy, but he wasn't a good dude. He was into all kinds of shit. Been in jail most of his life. He's a convict. And those dudes can be charming. Again, con men, the confidence, the you think the people are just going to be mean and evil and kind of no, man. A lot of these people just kind of smooth talk you, and by the time you realize what's going on, it's too late. Then they got you doing shit. We don't think along those lines, and even with my life experiences, there's a world that operates that has nothing to do with this milk toast, Yeah, life is ran by the most brutal motherfuckers you've ever could imagine. I mean, the governments and this and that, and the agencies and they're like a criminal organization. I mean, the world's a bad place. You think that you could just be like, oh, we can just be happy. And no, there's always going to be wars. This is going back to like Babylonian. And so you have to have like armies, and you have to have badass motherfuckers to keep us safe. I mean, unfortunately, we do. We have to have, and I guess the world needs a boogeyman. We need somebody like Charles Manson to be like, "Say, I got he." But it would be good to know exactly what the fuck happened, like what was really going on. Um, and stuff keeps coming out that like I was mentioning Nicholas Schreck. He's got a new version of his book. I think just came out, and I can't wait to read it. Um, maybe these people are getting older. Maybe he knows who I'm talking about. These hippie follower family people that I used to buy pipes from. Maybe he's talked to these people. They seem to know exactly what was going down. Again, they didn't tell me this. I heard, like when I'd come when they're talking, they would stop talking. I'm just hearing this coming by back, or somebody would say something if I was sitting there at the, because I was always behind the desk with a computer in front of me, and they were on the floor, like getting all their shit ready, and I'd pick what I bought. And I would buy around like $150 or $200 every time they'd come. I would buy, that was a lot of uh, bamboo pipes and stuff, and they were cool looking. They dyed, made their own inks and dyed their own tie dye. I mean, hemp string, and I used to have some of them, but maybe should I hold on to that? But oh well. And I wish I remembered these people's names. I do remember, like one of the women. It was named. She had her name like after a bird. Her name was either like Sparrow or Blue Jay or something. And she seemed to be like the mother, because against these two guys, I remember it blew my mind. I was like 32 and they were like maybe 48, 49, 50. They weren't that much. When you get older, that's not that, when you're younger, that much age is, if you're 3 and someone's 17 or whatever. But man, it really hit home. Like it made it like kind of scarier. Like these people exist. Like I thought they were all dead. That was back in the, before I was even born. I was born in 71. So all that stuff happened before I was even born. But and they were nice people. Again, they were really grateful too. Like, oh, thank you, Charlie. And I was like, oh, you got to thank the owner. Will you tell him hi? And where that ranch was, the Spawn Ranch, used to be like an old movie ranch. It's nothing now. And that is that's harsh out there. And that's a weird area, like that Santa Anita, I think it's called, that pass. And then you go into Simi and you go down to whatever. And during the day, I would sometimes have to go through there. The owner lived in Simi Valley, and I passed by it. I don't know how many times. I didn't even know that's what it was. Like there wasn't a sign. You just look over. It's just like bare dirt and grass. Weeds, and I had no idea that that's where that was until one of these like, yeah, you passed by the Spawn Ranch. I was like, what do you mean Spawn Ranch? Like that? That's it. And now, like, I think it's a church, or the church owns all that property. But people know, and I don't blame them for not wanting to say anything. Maybe you're getting older, and they can, get it off their chest. I guarantee you, there's like the government knows, the LAPD know, they friggin' know, man. And maybe it was who knows why they, I mean, that trial and that whole thing was a big moneymaker. I mean, they made, hundreds of millions of dollars off Charlie Manson books and this, that, and the other, selling newspapers. And you need a boogeyman. They're good for business. People don't want to read about, Johnny Goodtime. No, they want to, people are attracted to deceit. And people like the boogeyman, believe it or not. They love horror films and this, that, and the other. And I wish that I had maybe spoke up and said more. And they, but man, I'm at work, and also at the time I was working, and so again, the Manson thing to me was just, you just want to kind of not know, even though you're curious. Like, should I say something? Should I ask them? But yeah, that's what they told me, that it has something to do with. It was 2 crimes. The dude, whoever that kid is, or the dude in the car, if they could figure out, or someone just focus on that. Again, the guy in the car, the dude in the pool house, and then the owner of the house. I mean, they. I'm sure. Again, people have to know, and I'm sure that they do know. And at dinner parties for decades, they're like, "Oh, let's see, yeah, well, they tell exactly what really went down." It's like a uh, open secret, probably. So yeah, that's my Manson. And I might do more. I mean, hell, I might, get the gumption to do my own research. Yeah, like that's gonna happen. And again, I feel bad for Charles Manson, just because he didn't get the trial. He did. They treated him like shit. All the others got a trial and a defense, and he wasn't even able to put on a defense, because they said he was crazy and he might hypnotize people. Like, come on, man. Hypnotize someone? Has that ever happened in court? Have you ever seen someone, oh, we can't, his eye, he won't put us all under a spell? I mean, what kind of bullshit is that? But yeah, that's my rant about Charles Manson. Again, support the channel in the description. Zelle, hook me up. And I love you guys. Be blessed. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.